Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. A fool thinks himself to be wise, but a wise man knows himself to be a fool. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. No legacy is so rich as honesty. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. Love sought is good, but given unsought is better. Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. God has given you one face, and you make yourself another. Some rise by sin, and some by virtue fall. The evil that men do lives after them, the good is oft interred with their bones. Ignorance is the curse of God, knowledge is the wing, wherewith we fly to heaven. It is a wise father that knows his own child. The course of true love never did run smooth. If music be the food of love, play on. Better 3 hours too soon and a minute too late. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. There is no art to find the mind's construction in the face. The rob that smiles steals something from the thief. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. With mirth and laughter let old wrinkles come. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Boldness be my friend. How far that little candle throws its beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world. Love is not love that alters when it alteration finds. Talking isn't doing, it is a kind of good deed to say well, and yet words are not deeds. Love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs. Heat not a furnace for your foe so hot that it do singe yourself. But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns. What's done can't be undone. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. To thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Let me embrace thee, sour adversity, for wise men say, it is the wisest course. Fishes live in the sea as men do a land. The great ones eat up the little ones. I like not fair terms and a villain's mind. Most dangerous is that temptation that doth goad us on to sin and loving virtue. When we are born, we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools. Though she be but little, she is fierce. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Things done well, and with a care, exempt themselves from fear. Listen to many, speak to a few. There is no darkness but ignorance. Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. Virtue is bold, and goodness never fearful. The very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream. My crown is called content, a crown that seldom kings enjoy. I wasted time, and now doth time waste me. The wheel is come full circle. There's many a man has more hair than wit. Enter text, I wasted time, and now doth time waste me. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known? Faith, there hath been many great men that have flattered the people who ne'er loved them. This above all, to thine own self be true. The wheel is come full circle. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. It is the stars above us, govern our conditions. As soon go kindle fire with snow, as seek to quench the fire of love with words. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Life is as tedious as twice-told tale, vexing the dull ear of a drowsy man. Our peace shall stand as firm as rocky mountains. The devil can cite Scripture for his purpose. To do a great right, do a little wrong. Nothing can come of nothing. Poor and content is rich, and rich enough. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. My pride fell with my fortunes. To be or not to be, that is the question. And oftentimes excusing of a fault doth make the fault the worse by the excuse. The lunatic, the lover, and the poet are of imagination, all compact. How sharper than a serpent's, Toothity is to have a thankless child. Brevity is the soul of wit. I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. When words are scarce, they are seldom spent in vain. O thou invisible spirit of wine, if thou hast no name, to be known by, let us call thee devil. And this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved, with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. Sweet are the uses of adversity which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. Speak low, if you speak love. Modest doubt is called the beacon of the wise. Wisely and slow they stumble that run fast. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit, and lost without deserving. Maids want nothing but husbands, and when they have them, they want everything. If you can look into the seeds of time, and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then unto me. We are time's subjects, and time bids be gone. The stroke of death is as a lover's pinch, which hurts, and is desired. Suit the action to the word to the action. What, man, defy the devil, consider he's an enemy to mankind. Better a witty fool than a foolish wit. But men are men, the best sometimes forget. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then unto me. A peace is of the nature of a conquest, for then both parties nobly are subdued, and neither party loser. Farewell, fair cruelty. Fortune brings in some boats that are not steered. In a false quarrel there is no true valor. There is place and means for every man alive. Death is a fearful thing. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Teach not thy lip such scorn, for it was made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. I hold the world but as the world Gratiano, a stage where every man must play a part, and mine is a sad one. Men shut their doors against a setting sun. What is past is prologue. 'Tis not enough to help the feeble up, but to support them after. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood hath! The love of heaven makes one heavenly. Well, if fortune be a woman, she's a good wench for this gear. There are many events in the womb of time, which will be delivered. The stroke of death is as a lover's pinch, which hurts and is desired. I must be cruel only to be kind. I were better to be eaten to death with a rust than to be scoured to nothing with perpetual motion. Mind your speech a little, lest you should mar your fortunes. An overflow of good converts to bad. They say miracles are past. In time we hate that which we often fear. If to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches, and poor men's cottage princes' palaces. I am not bound to please thee with my answer. Life every man holds dear, but the dearer man holds honor, far more precious dear than life. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. As flies to wanton boars, are we to the gods they kill us for their sport. Use every man after his desert, and who should scape whipping. What, man, defy the devil, consider he's an enemy to mankind. As he was valiant, I honor him, but as he was ambitious, I slew him. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. 'Tis one thing to be tempted, another thing to fall. Children wish fathers looked, but with their eyes fathers, that children with their judgment looked, and either may be wrong. Many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage. How well he's read to reason against reading. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end. If it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul. For I can raise no money by vile means. Come, gentlemen, I hope we shall drink down all unkindness. Give thy thoughts no tongue. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company. I bear a charmed life. I will praise any man that will praise me. Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. 'Tis best to weigh the enemy more mighty than he seems. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. There have been many great men that have flattered the people who ne'er loved them. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. Kindness in women, not their beauteous looks, shall win my love. How oft the sight of means to do ill deeds makes ill deeds done. Now God be praised that to believing souls gives light in darkness, comfort in despair. Desire of having is the sin of covetousness. No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing. He that loves to be flattered is worthy o' the flatterer. Oh, let me not be mad, not mad, sweet heaven, keep me in temper. I would not be mad. Now is the winter of our discontent. Love is too young to know what conscience is. Exceeds man's might that dwells with the gods above. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. How oft the sight of means to do ill deeds makes ill deeds done. Desire of having is the sin of covetousness. He that loves to be flatter is worthy o' the flatterer. Oh, let me not be mad, not mad, sweet heaven, keep me in temper. I would not be mad. As he was valiant, I honor him, but as he was ambitious, I slew him. Praise us as we are tasted, allow us as we prove. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. Nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. Now God be praised that, too, believing souls gives light in darkness. If we are marked to diet, we are enough to do our country loss, and if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. Alas, I am a woman friendless, hopeless. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it. I give unto my wife my second best bed with the furniture. There was never yet fair woman, but she made mouths in a glass. For my part, it was Greek to me. I never see thy face, but I think upon hellfire. Now is the winter of our discontent. He is winding the watch of his wit, by and by it will strike. The valiant never taste of death but once. He does it with better grace, but I do it more natural. And why not death rather than living torment? To die is to be banished from myself, and Sylvia is myself. Banished from her is self from self, a deadly banishment. Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. Lord, Lord, how subject we old men are to this vice of lying. So foul and fair a day I have not seen. I shall the effect of this good lesson keeps as watchman to my heart, where every something, being blent together, turns to a wild of nothing. Virtue itself scapes not calumnious strokes. Subscribe for more quotes.